it on. You don't give a what, we don't give a what. Get it on the floor, get it on the floor. Get it on the floor, get it on the floor. You don't wanna party, then you gotta go. You don't wanna party, then you gotta go. And if you ride to this bounce to this freak ass let's get it on.
That, my friends, was DMX with Get It on the Floor. Hello, my name is Eddie Perez, and this is my podcast. On this podcast, I will be talking about sports, the NBA to be specific. Most of the information gathered for this podcast comes from articles written in the LA Times by Mike Bresnahan. Let's get this show started. You guys might have heard that the NBA lockout just ended, and the season will begin on December 25th, Christmas Day. What a gift, right? You get presents under your tree if you celebrate Christmas, that is. And you get the present of a brand new NBA season. Yay! But before we get too happy, let's back it up and discuss how we got here. First off, the owners and the players union, led by Derek Fisher, could not agree on a new CBA agreement. That led to the lockout and the cancellation of over a month's worth of games. Then, over Thanksgiving weekend, the clouds opened up and the sports god said, the NBA season will be played. Now, how did both these sides get to an agreement? Well, for starters, the players went down from 57% of shared revenue in the previous collective bargaining agreement to just 50% in this new agreement. That's a bad move on the players' union behalf, because in an earlier offer by the owners, they were giving the players 54 instead of 50. Tisk, 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 Derek Fisher. Now, staying with Derek Fisher and moving on to another topic, the team that Derek Fisher plays for, the Los Angeles Lakers, really got screwed over in this new CBA deal. According to an article in the LA Times, this new CBA carries harsher luxury tax penalties for teams that go over the salary cap. These teams usually are large market teams. Of course, there's some large market teams that don't. The Chicago Bulls are an example. But the Lakers fall under this category, so they're hit with luxury taxes every season. For example, this previous season, the Lakers had a payroll of $91 million, and they got hit with the luxury tax. And the hit they took was $21 million. Sounds like a lot, right? But wait up. Under this new CBA, that same $91 million payroll would cost the Lakers a whopping $68 million. That's crazy, right? $68 million. That almost equals their current payroll. That equals the payroll of the New Orleans Hornets. That luxury tax penalty surpasses the payroll that the Chicago Bulls had last season by more than $20 million. That's crazy, right? Crazy. And those penalty hits aren't the only problem the Lakers face this upcoming season. They also need help, big time, at the forward and point guard position. The player that they got right now at the point guard position, Derek Fisher, isn't that effective anymore. He's a very seasoned vet. He's up there in age. He can't guard the younger, quicker, faster point guards in the league, like Monte Ellis, like Eric Gordon, like Darren Williams, like Chris Paul, like Rajon Rondo. So they need to get help there. And there's also concerns with Ron Artest's condition. There's been reports that Ron Artest showed up at the team's training facilities looking obviously heavier than he did last season. So there's some worry there that he might not be ready for the season. Oh, by the way, Ron Artest isn't Ron Artest anymore. He goes by Meta World Peace. Seriously, that's his new name. It's legal. But since they are in violation of the salary cap, they're limited at who they can get to fill those voids. The new spending restrictions limit how much money the Lakers can offer potential players. For example, if they want to get a mid-level player, they could only offer a mini mid-level exception deal worth $9.4 million over 3 years. The other addition will have to be signed for the league's veteran minimum of $1 million. Now, some of the players that will be willing to accept that mini mid-level exception deal are the players cut by the amnesty clause. And this amnesty clause is a new addition to the CBA that allows teams to cut any player, allowing them to free up cap space and reduce luxury taxes that are tied onto the player's contract. And once the player is cut, any team can pick up the player, sort of like a waiver wire process. But the teams with lower payrolls have the first choices, meaning teams like the Lakers get the leftovers. Players like Baron Davis, Brandon Roy, Rashad Lewis, Luke Walton, and Ron Artest, World Peace, are likely candidates to be casualties under the amnesty provision. However, since there is uncertainty of what kind of help the Lakers can get, they aren't expected to execute their amnesty provision this season, which means they'll hold on to Ron Artest and Luke Walton, regardless of whoever the Lakers could get to help them out with their needs. The next tough battle that they have is the NBA schedule. Some would think that a 60-game schedule will benefit an older team like the Lakers. Less games played, less minutes played, the fresher the players will be, like Kobe, like Gasol, like Odom, who are up in their 30s. But what's not being accounted for is that this season is compressed, meaning that a lot of games will be back-to-back, and back-to-back games equal less time to recover from the previous day's work. It means that players will get tired easier, and for the Lakers, that's not a good thing since a lot of their players are older. This gives teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder a leg up on the competition because they are younger and they are quicker and they could recover easier. Well, that's about it, folks. My podcast is over. See you next time.